Hello everybody. What we're doing today is we're going to finish up this these 90s. We had to work on this in between jobs because we have little jobs that come in here and we had to stop on one job and catch this little job that's real fast, and that's the way we do it. We've done it that way for a long time. Whenever somebody comes in with something small, we grab that small quick job and then go back to the one that takes a while to do. So we've done some stuff to this seat without being on video, but I'm going to try to explain to you what all we've done to it. One is we went to the junkyard. I guess that piece is outside drying, but some pieces that was cut off of this seat we didn't know was cut off of it, and I made all the patterns to this seat, so it was just made from scratch. It looks like the original seat in a lot of ways, but the seat cover is just made from scratch. So it's the headrest, once we did get them all uncovered, this is the original cover that was glued on, and on that 90s Chevrolet they always glue them covers on. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this one was glued on. It feels like it anyway. But I know the base covers was, and we steamed all those off. So we replaced the carpet, we replaced a bunch of pieces. This armrest right here, the backrest on it was busted up, and hand me a piece of that closed-cell right there. Where's that thick stuff? What we done was this part was the front, and we didn't mess with it. Not this part. I mean, I glued a bunch of it back together where it was busted, but on this part, this backrest was only about this thick. So we took, that's a piece of closed-cell foam that floats, water won't go into it, and we put it on the back side. And if you watch that other video, you'll probably see where I done that. So we put this on the back side, made it a little bit thicker, so whenever they let it down, this right here is going to be up a little bit higher for the arm. This part right here, this part right in here, now I made this piece that goes, and what it does is the holes, and I ain't even cut the holes yet because I'm probably gonna burn them holes in there with like a soldering iron or something like that, because the zipper's so close. And if I had to burn through the zipper, I don't want it coming unzipped. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that right there. There's another hole right here. But this part right here, if you look up in there, it was just glued and tucked back up in here. You can see right there. They just glued it and tucked it. It didn't have no zipper on it or nothing. Like that. Like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it, and I'm going to tuck it back up in here like that. And then I'm going to go across the outside edge, and I'm just going to put a few dots of the CA glue. This looks like super glue. It probably is kind of like that, ain't it, West? So anyway, this piece right here, we went out to the junkyard. I said there had to be another piece that got lost. It had to, but what it was this piece right here had a piece sewed on here that just covered and snapped into place, and it was the cover, and it hid it. And not having no patterns, I didn't know exactly how that piece right there was. I've done some of them when I had the patterns and I just didn't remember. So I went out there and I found a piece off of a Ford truck. Don't talk about it. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And I welded some pieces onto the bracket, and they out there drying, and slid some clips in place, and I'll be able to bolt that that little cover on here. Now this part right here, this part you can look at it, I had to heat it up, it was just wadded up, and it goes right here. So this part is the Chevrolet part, but the other part, we're gonna put it on here, and it's gonna be a forward piece, but I cut some pieces off of another piece and welded them on, and I don't think it's gonna look too bad. At least it'll be covered and have the trim piece on it. So
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm trying to zoom in and it now.
Okay.
Now.
Anyway.
Sorry, folks.
We're gonna finish this right here up.
I can't get it back.
What's it doing?
It's zoomed in too much.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can zoom it out.
Every time I touch it,
that zooms out.
There you go. Leave it like that.
Okay.
Well,
hold on.
Ain't no one having problems with it. There you go.
Well.
Right there.
Okay. Here we got it back. So.
Sorry.
Anyway. It's alright. I mean, we're not a professional camera crew. That's for sure.
Well, maybe it didn't give them, make them dizzy watching all that.
So, anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this right here up. I'm gonna put these pieces in here. I'm gonna cut this part right here out. I'm gonna show you how I welded them pieces on there. There's a bunch of things on this seat right here that we done that probably the camera missed, because we can't always just. I wish we could.
I don't know what's wrong with your phone. It just keeps. Watch it. It zooms in, zooms out, zooms in.
Does it?
Perhaps.
Got a heartbeat, don't it?
I don't know what its issue is today.
Hey, y'all. We moving around here.
Technical difficulties this morning.
Yeah. And we don't know why.
It's the users. Good morning, Jane.
All right, here's a piece that we got from the junkyard. This piece right here, well, we got one like it. This piece right here was broke, like this. If you open and close these or don't do them just right, these little old clips right here is kind of hard to get off, especially whenever they're closed up on there. So if you go to pulling on this right here, that little bitty thin line will break like that. So it was broke. We got one of those. I cut this piece right here out. You see that little section? I took the bandsaw and just cut that section out and welded it into that forward piece with one of these. We use these like we do them knives. That turkey carving knife, we use that a lot, see, because we have to melt a lot of plastic. You'd be surprised how much stuff with a car, the plastic breaks on it. That BMW we just done would have been a good video where the dash was peeling up. And we fixed that, so that would have been a good video, but we didn't. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get into. It can turn out kind of bad, or it can turn out good, like this one. Okay, this right, I can feel this right in here. The indentions. I'm going to show you. Alright, there's the bolt holes. There's the bolt holes in there. One right there and one right here. One right there. That bolts that hinge on. It makes this lean over. So I can come right in here and I can put my fingers on there and I can feel where that bolt, where these bolt holes, this one right here and this one right here. And there's that piece that I made that flips over, and I put a clip on it. And then I made this right here, and I just welded a little clip on it. I'm gonna bolt this on here, and that other piece, that piece of plastic, which is right here, is gonna go right here. We're gonna put this forward part. We're gonna put this forward part on here. Some people say it probably make it run better, but if you drive a Chevrolet. But we got it to match, so it color matches real good. We're gonna put this on here. It's got another piece that covers all this up right in here. So the first thing you gotta do is fix this. All this part in here that ain't glued. Alright, so we're just going to glue that right there, and it'll tuck back up in here. This one right here is the same way. This one. We just got to glue it a little bit. Now once this is glued, it's done. I mean, I can't, it's going to mess it up to take it back apart. So. Hopefully there ain't gonna be no taking it back apart. See, so I'm gonna go ahead, put a little glue on that zipper, and I'm gonna fold that zipper down. I ain't gonna be unzipping it no more. If I waited till that right there was completely dry, I wouldn't be able to tuck this down in there very easy. That glue, it don't play, and it once you do it, once you glue it, it just don't. It don't give a lot of. It's not gonna slide once you glue it. So if you see, I had to go head on and glue it before it dried up. Alright, now this part, you see that gap right here? That looks like crap. Where's that glue at with? We fabricated this lid. We fabricated that lid. Alright.
Engineered.
Yeah. And we engineered this nozzle on here too. Alright, being I ain't gonna be able to pull the whole thing. I'm gonna get Wesley, when I mash this together, I'm gonna get Wesley to spray it. And what that glue does is that glue, I think, sucks the oxygen out, don't it, Wesley?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, I got to hold that just for just a little bit. It don't take long for that to dry. That's some bad glue. I've glued some Volkswagen back glasses and stuff like that back in with that.
And don't get it on your finger.
Yeah, don't put it on your finger.
It won't come off.
Alright, so I just want to close up that gap. Let it get all the way, Wesley. There you go.
Ready?
Yeah. It takes just a little bit for it to dry. Once I get it dry, I clean all that up and I'm gonna run a bead of it down through here. I'm gonna buy out of this. Maybe there's enough to do with that. I do have another cube of it. Yeah, it might be on the floor, but we do somewhere. Huh? Okay, you found it.
Oh, was right in front of it.
Yeah, if you're ever looking for something, look in front of you. Especially before you accuse somebody of something. Always. Always. Like I know I had it. Where's it at? Get that right there. Alright, now this right here, it ain't to be took off. The original ones was glued on. They wasn't designed to come apart anyway. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna take this glue. Probably use the last little bit of it. And I'm just gonna fill in that little gap right there. Alright, Wes, let's spray that. So that's sealed up all the way. A lot of times, go get that paint, Wes.
The what?
Go get that paint. Do we have the darker color that you was talking about? Wesley said he had the darker color. We keep Q-tips out here all the time. Different reasons, different applications, especially if we're touching something up or putting some glue in a real tight spot. We use a Q-tip a lot of times. We're just gonna take and wipe that CA glue off with this alcohol. It won't take it long to dry. I don't know for sure if you can actually see this on the because the seat's gonna be like this, and that's gonna be in between the seats. You really won't be able to see it, but just in case, Wesley's gonna spray me some.
This is that color.
Yeah.
I don't. And this is a little darker, not much, but
Hey, we take these right here sometimes and mix them together, like that.
hold on.
We'll take them. We'll take two colors and mix them together and tint them. That really looks worse than the glue. We got some black. You know it dries a little darker anyway. Dark gray, dark charcoal, something to tint it darker. You see that? That don't look good. It looks. If it was next to this, it would look all right, but we're just gonna darken it up just a little bit, and it don't take much to do it.
That's black. Here's some
All right, here's some black. So I'm gonna take these two right here. See if I can't make it a little bit darker. That's gonna have to be a little bit darker than that right there, Wesley.
I got some graphite if you want to try.
No, this right here is probably gonna do it. It don't take much black, that's for sure. Tinting colors ain't that. Sometimes it can, if it ever turns to mud, you through. Start over. But I clean it up. I mean, I'm gonna go back and get any excess off of it or anything like that. I'm just hiding that glue. Okay. So we got that covered up a little bit. Give me some of that stuff we sprayed that with. I'm gonna just see if that'll take that off. Any that we want to get off. Maybe I should have put a straight line on here to start with. Anyway, we can take that right there and at least make it all look like it's uniform. even if it ain't exactly the right color. Didn't put that thing on so we can just take it like this right here and just doctor the whole thing up, make it all one color. What was that all about, Wes?
Billy Joe wanted to talk to you and remind you that you need to go get a haircut and you know, all this other stuff.
My granddaughter is getting married, so I got to get this shag cut off.
Apparently, when the phone rings, they can hear it very loudly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, y'all.
Jane commented on how loud it was for the ringer.
Alright, so we'll just take that. It's even, it's up under the seat. This sim dries pretty quick. So now it's just sealed up like it's kind of made that way. So it's going to be just like this. We done cut the hole in here. We got this piece right here from a junkyard. It was the one that was on here was broke. And we find that all the time, that a bunch of pieces like that, once we start on them, a lot of different pieces are broke. So to fix them, we either had to go to the junkyard or we had to go somewhere else. So we can put all this right here, all them colors up. We didn't have this dark color right here. We didn't have it. Normally we got a whole bunch of dyes, but we didn't have that one. But this one right here, this piece, because we got all this sealed up, we're gonna take and cut these holes. And all that is a heat gun, and it's got this. I melted so much plastic with it. It's all up here. But they work for a little while. You just can't use them like we do. But I can feel the hole, and if I just cut a hole, that means that zipper the stitches could come out of it, a whole bunch of things. So I'm just going to take and cut it like this. Just going to cut a square hole in it. You got to put the phone on do not disturb. She's probably going to call back. But that's the way you cut the hole in it. That way it's not going to unravel or anything like that. There's the other one right on the zipper. I'm going to see if I can't not hit it on the zipper chain, but even if it does, it's not going to matter that much, because I'm not going to undo it. Close your eye. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think you caught the list. Maybe next week, maybe. You want to call me Monday? Just rains that way. Monday. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Some days the phone rings off the hook.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we can't, unless we do this at midnight, and I ain't gonna be out here doing it at midnight, y'all. To ensure that that don't come unzipped. It's been open.
That's the new one.
Okay. Hang it old one. We're gonna make sure that that don't come unzipped. We don't want it coming down through here after we get it all put on. So I'm gonna put just a drop on here on each side of the zipper. And that right there, we know that'll hold it. I had to cut the chain. I thought I was gonna wind up cutting the chain, but I wasn't 100% sure. We put that on there so it'll instantly dry. Okay, we'll take this piece right here. We got this piece that goes over it right here. You see them staples around the edge? That lets me notice that there was a piece of carpet on there. Am I putting it on right west or backwards?
Maybe it should come from the bottom. I don't know.
I don't think it'll go from the bottom. Well, it's got to be that way. Who's doing it right? Put our little clips and make sure that they stay in place. Well, one of the clips fell off.
It's right there. It's on the table.
Right
Both of them's on the table.
All right. Okay. When the clips is falling off, you just stick them back on, or either put your little glue on it. Wasn't there a hole right there for a screw waste?
Should have been.
Okay. This right here, That's covering our clip right here. So I've got to come right in here, like this. Take that off. I'm just gonna go back to the bandsaw, hit that right there and just knock that off. Alright, so we got this piece right here. We had to take that little section down. When you're putting that forward part on there, it don't want it.
And that's the original Chevrolet part there.
Yeah. See, I needed to get to that clip. Okay. Alright, just like that. Then this piece goes like this.
I've got 2 short ones and 2 long ones.
I'm gonna say the short one. Go up here, maybe. Okay, so we got that piece on. This piece right here, I think Wesley said it had a screw in it.
Does that need to go under that clip mount that you made?
See how these pieces right here move? Like that, like that. What's that?
Where it rides up on your clip, does it need to be under your piece?
It might. It might. Where's that? Right here. That will help hold it down, won't it, to be up under it?
Yeah.
Okay, so these pieces right here move, I guess to keep that hinge or keep this material off of that. All right, here's our forward piece right here. We're going to see if we can. Hey y'all, I was just looking for a thing at the junkyard that necessarily had to be Ford or Chevrolet. I was just looking for a piece that would work and cover this section right here up. Alright, there's my clip. I know I need one, Wesley, it's kind of short. And that hinge right there is still gonna work.
And I got a little.
That one won't work. If you got a screw, as Moses says, screw. got it screwed, it's too long. You can always just cut it off. Had it up a little bit too high, looks like. Give me that little pick, Wesley. You gotta know what angle it's got to go in. It looks like I might need to bend that thing like this. Like that. And see if I can get it to go straight in. More like that.
You mind if I step out for about 10 minutes? You get two going from the front door. You make about 15 minutes.
Okay.
You reckon 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, depending on that. I'm on the other part now.
Alright. Wesley, you got this zip wheel? Sometimes you got to just cut this stuff as you go to make it, I mean, we're trying to make it work. These little old clips right here ain't worth a cuss. That piece right there looks like it's already messing up, don't it?
You broke.
Yeah. All right, y'all. When this happens, this is what we got to do. We're going to take this off. It does need melting back together. Right in here, I'm just gonna melt that back together. I got a piece of material right there. I'm gonna glue this right here. See, I put that piece on there. All I'm doing is just melting it right back together because it did break it loose. Me pulling on it, struggling to get it struggling to get this right here back into place. It broke. Instead of it having that little lip on it now, because I'm gonna cover it, I'm just gonna take and cut that little lip right there off. Okay, we know it'll fit, but I know I broke it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of material and I'm just gonna cover it. We don't have pieces over there, do we? It's not gonna take a big piece. So.
You might get it out of this week. Just remember there's a line about halfway through it.
Yeah, I can get it out of this. Set that gun to where it's that glue will pull off. I just didn't want to get it all over my table. It's all over my table. I didn't want no wet glue on it. When you do this type of stuff like this, you're just gonna run into these things. And this is the type of thing you never know. If I was good at making videos, I would take and edit all that stuff like that out. But you do run into this stuff, and that's if you wanna know what you're gonna find whenever you get into something. This is exactly the type of stuff you're gonna get into. You can ask Wesley. We run into it all the time. I mean, it's a never-ending thing. Just like that on the side of that seat, on this armrest right here. Hey, I mean, if you run into something like this, you got to have some sort of idea of how you're going to tackle it. So I just pulled that right there. I wanted it real tight, and I know if I pulled it, I would get it to curve around the edges a little bit. So whenever you go around these, I mean, you can take this right here and start folding it over, but you know you need to. I'm gonna say that you need to go in here like this and trim it back just a little bit. Look around these edges. That needs a little bit more glue on. I usually take these scissors and go around here and I cut me some little V's out of it like this. You can. Just cut you some V's. It's like a relief cut in. Don't cut it all the way up to it. Leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch before you get to the plastic. Because if you don't, It ain't gonna cover the edge. So now I'm just gonna roll it over the edge. See, and it's not gathering up in here. Nothing like it would have if I hadn't cut that out. Okay, so there's my little hole. I'm just gonna put one line in it because I don't want a big hole in it like that. This one right here. I might make it a little bigger because the screws got to turn in it. I think it was long and went with. Okay. I think the clip, these clips, we do have something that's better than this on that phone.
Somewhere, then just
We're gonna see if we can't find something a little bit better than this. That's so cheap. You buy stuff offline and you can't touch it, you can't look at it, and you can't tell, hey, is this good or bad? I think I know where they're at though. Let me go get it. Here you go, Wes. Here's a pack. I think they could be a little bit better. These are heavier. That thing right there ain't nothing. Okay, so we got some decent ones on here now. Hopefully that'll. They're just a whole lot stronger. And Wesley brought me maybe that'll do it. We got some cutters. Zip wheel.
You got the zip wheel.
We're gonna have to zip this screw off. The thing is a little bit too long. It cut it, but I mean, it was like pulling teeth. Trying to get any burrs off of it. Screwdriver. You got a handheld screwdriver? That thing's good and hot. There wasn't that much space in between the clip and the so it didn't have no space on it, you know. Now that'll work, and all that right there's covered up, so maybe that ain't gonna be too bad. We got the seat right back there. We got some carpet over there, Wes. Where's it at? Right here.
I don't have any pieces of it. You have to cut off of it.
I know.
Wait a second. There's another piece there.
We always have a little extra carpet laying around somewhere. This right here went just to hide these pieces. So all I'm gonna do is it's like a little lip that just covers it up. It don't have to be that long. Probably take and that goes down in between the seat. I'm just gonna take some staples and staple it on. That's a non-ravel edge on there. It's not future. It's not that future weave or needle punch or any of that stuff that they call that. This is it looks like they went way up the edge here just to cover the whole thing up. They didn't care. So Weston got me some staples. Quarter inch. That's probably long enough. Maybe we'll staple it on backwards where it won't be seen. Then we just fold it down like this. Come right here, cut that off level. And all that is just to hide them screws. As Moses says, screws, not screws. That's all it does. Wesley will probably go back there and bolt this right here on. That's a little glue. Take the finger and rub that off. Hopefully we done melting.
You moving to the headrest now?
Yeah.
May have to come cut too long in this week.
You want to bring it up here, Wes? Whenever you go to cutting these holes, you need to kind of know about where you're going to cut them at. So there's one there. There's one you can rub your finger across it and feel it. Can you see this, Wes? You can rub your finger across it. You can push it in right there and tell too. It'll leave a little dent. Okay, so there's the holes that holds that armrest on. It wasn't even, the thing didn't work when we got it.
Line it up.
I'm gonna try. There you go. Just get your wrench. There ain't a whole lot of tolerance in that hole.
Can't do this carrying the camera around.
Okay.
We done got dizzy.
Alright, then this piece right here just fold down over. I can take a piece of Velcro, stick it down like that. But that's the way it's gonna look. We just got to do the headrest on here and put the tracks on the seat. That's the armrest. It's up about that much. So that right there is gonna be just right. That ain't gonna be too high. That's gonna be just right to put your arm on compared to what it was. It was way down to here where this line right here was. That's gonna be jam up. This right here, That hides it pretty good, them pieces. We do have that little tiny hole.
The other seat sits kind of up against it.
Yeah. The other seat does sit right up next to it. So it'll be right here. You really won't never see that hole. But that's jam up. Works good. Yep. So this right here, other than the headrest and the tracks, we're done with this seat right here. The other one, we're pretty much done with it other than the headrest. So that's what it's going to look like. We actually have a pattern. This right here is the only pattern that we have. This right here would come from a leather company, maybe whenever the truck was new. They took it and had leather put on it. So we do have a pattern for this. So that's gonna make it kind of easy peasy to make these headrest covers. And there it goes just like that. We're gonna take and clean all that paint. It's got some paint on it, but we're gonna clean all that up. And the headrest fit right in there. Just like that. So thanks everybody. I know it's a short video, but we were just gonna show you some things that you run into. There's been several things on this seat right here that we fixed on it. The foam was messed up like this. Right around here, I did steam all that out. Y'all seen it on another video. I steamed all that right there out. It come out really smooth, really nice and tight. The seat cover's really tight. And I want to thank everybody. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. And I'll see you next time.